Okay, go ahead and fold your paper and label it equations, table, and then graph. Today we're working on slope, reviewing slope representing linear equations. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and write your equation. Y, which is our total, equals m, which we all know is rate or slope, same thing, x, which is our input, plus b, our y-intercept.
Or start value. I forgot
Or
to put
start
that
value. We can add that.
Oh, we didn't give you a purple pen. You have to use purple.
Now it looks so much prettier. Or start
So, well, it's the power of the purple pen.
value. I feel it. I feel the
Okay,
power.
You feel the power. Good.
All right, once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and open up to our equation. Here we have a word problem. Mrs. Dial starts the year with 150 pencils and gives away an average of 10 pencils per week. I'm going to go ahead and circle my variables, 150 pencils, okay? And she gives away an average of 10 pencils per week. So she's giving away, so this is going to be a negative an equation. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a subtraction symbol. Let me go back and check. Okay, my equation, I'm going to start with y. Now, what was my start value? My variable starts the year, okay, with 150 pencils. So we're going to write my start value, or my b, 150, and she gives away an average of 10 per week. So I'm going to have 10 as my rate or slope, and then x is going to remain the same for right now because I'm not sure what x is. Let's check out this chart over here. You can go ahead and label your x value 0, 1, 2, and 3. And let's go ahead and plug that in. So we're looking for the total pencils. Well, y is going to equal p now because that's our total pencils. That's what the question's asking. If I could spell, that would be fabulous. Okay, we're still going to start with 150. That's not going to change. Our rate is not going to change. And I'm just going to do this, call that weeks. Because that's going to help me out when I'm doing my actual equation. So my first one is going to be 150. I know that because it's 0. Okay, let me go ahead and do the second one. Actually, let's skip that one. Let's go to number 2. So I'm going to write p in my equation minus 10 times 2, which is 20, equals 150 minus 20 is 130. So I need to make sure, because I skipped around, I'm going to write it right there, 130. Okay, I like to skip. I'm going to go back now that I know this equation. And this one will be super easy because I'm just going to do 150 minus 10x. Well, 10x is 10. That one's easy, so that's going to be 140. So right now, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to try. I can figure out my pattern right here, and that's going to help me double check to see if that's correct. So from 150 to 140, that's minus 10. Minus 10. So my guess would be that this is 120, but I'm going to double check because I always double check for math. 150 minus 10 times 3, which equals 30, equals 120. Bam! Yes, I love this. That's why I love math. I can always check myself. I'm going to give myself a smiley face with the powerful purple pen. I love it so much. All right, so then I'm going to use my information right here, my x and my y, to go ahead and make my graph. So if y is 150, then x is 0. So that's where I'm going to start. So I'm going to look for my, oh, I like to label it. Do we do that? Yeah. Just so I don't get confused. So y is this way and x is this way. All right, so 150, that's going to be right up top. 150, x is 0, easy peasy. Next one's going to be 1. There's no 1. What do I do? What do I do? Magic purple pen to the rescue. This is 0. This is 2. This is 4. Ding, ding, ding. 1 is going to be right here. So I'm going to go 1 and 140. That's going to be right there. Right? I did that right? Yes. Okay. Then 2. 2 is easy. I'm going to go ahead and write 2 here so I don't go crazy again. Now that makes sense. 0, 2, 4, 6. Okay, cool. Again, we always check ourselves with math. 2 and 130, again in the middle, so tricky, is going to be this one. And then 3 and 120, awesome. And look, my line is going down like we talked about. It's negative. It's losing value. Psh. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the next section. Our table. What do we have here? Equation to table. Okay, so I'm going to take this equation and put it into this table. So I'm going to look at my formula. Y equals half x. So that means half is going to be my rate or slope. I'm using my notes from before, and x is going to be my input. And we already have the y-intercept or start value, which is going to be 3. Oh, this is pretty important. I'm going to write start. Look, this magic purple pen even makes my handwriting look amazing. So now I need to figure out what y is. So, remember I like to skip around? I'm going to start with 4. So if y is half of 4 plus my start value, which is 3, what's half of 4? That's like saying 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2 plus 3. So my y equals 5. Okay, so when my start value was 4, y is 5. Okay, so over here, I'm going to go to 6 next. So my y is half of my x plus 3, half of 6. Easy. 3 plus 3 equals 6. Wow. Now remember what I can do? I can kind of check to see if there's a pattern here. I started from the bottom, so I'm going to have to go opposite from 6 to 5. It's going to be minus 1. So if I'm going this way, let's see. I'm going to make a guess, an inference, that this might be 4. Let's see. So half of 2 is 1. And then plus 3 equals 4. Ding, 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 I was right. And then this one's easy. 0. It cancels out everything. Psh, psh, psh. So we only have 3 left. So that's going to be 3. And does that check out? 6 minus 5 is 1. Check. 5 minus 1 is 4. Check. And 4 minus 1 is 3. Check. Smiley face. Magic purple smiley face. I watch too many YouTube videos with my daughter. All right, then over here, it says table to equation. So we're going to do the change in y. This one's tricky because we're going backwards. Don't forget, change in y over change in x. All right, so kind of like we were doing over here and up here, we need to figure out what the change is in our table. So from -2 to 0, from here to here, okay, that's going to be a positive 2. If I was confused, I'd probably write it out on a number line because that still helps me. Then 0 to 2, there we go, plus 2. All right. Then 3 to 4, oh, that's 1, and that's plus 1, easy. 4 to 5, plus 1, awesome. Ms. Hyndman, why do we have 0 and 4 circled exactly?
Because that's where when we plug in the x, when we plug in 0 for x, we're going to get the start value. So our total that we start with.
Okay, so our start value is for when we plug in 0 for x. Perfect, thank you for that. So we can go ahead and write our equation, which is y equals half x plus 4. Now I'm still a little confused. We have 1 plus 1 plus 1, and then we have plus 2. Where did I get half? Oh wait, so my change is 2 over 1.
Ooh, and that's actually what a lot of us, I mean, it makes sense, right? The 2's on top and the 1's on the bottom. But the tricky part is that we got to get that change of y on top.
Got it.
And that's actually a real common mistake.
You're right. Look.
Yeah.
Okay, so my change in y is here. Come on, purple pen, help me
Yeah.
out. So my change in y goes on top. So what was my change in y? 2. Jeez Louise. And then my change in x was
Yes, yeah.
2. There we go. So now that makes sense with my formula. And we have our start value at 0, which makes our starting value 4 right here. So that's how we came up with that equation. Again, be super careful right here.
Yeah,
Be
that one's
very
tricky. There's a formula chart too that
Oh.
always shows us that y goes on
That
top.
makes
Thank
me
goodness.
feel so much
yeah.
better. Except map doesn't let me use a formula chart. And I
Not
get
map.
really mad.
Just star.
All right, next we're on graph. Let's see. Oh, this is fun. I just graphed up here, so I can just graph again. Oh, it gives me my equation. Awesome. It says equation to graph. So I'm going to look y equals half of x. Oh, I can go back to my equation because that's what we're talking about. Okay, so that means my rate or slope is going to be 1/2. Oh, I remember something. 1/2. When I'm graphing it, I can say rise over run. That's going to help me when I'm drawing this line. If I remember rise over run. Perfect. And it's a plus, so that's going to be a positive line. So my line should go the other way because I remember this. We don't
Positive
know.
start value.
Positive start value.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
we'll start up above
Oh,
0.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we'll see if my line is, which way my line goes.
Yeah, but we will start
Yeah.
positive 3.
Positive 3, perfect. Okay, so y is right here, x is right here. It's already labeled, but I like my purple pen better. So I'm going to start at positive 3. So I need to go up 1, 2, 3. Okay, here is my start value, or my b, because that's my y-intercept right here. And then I'm going to do rise over run. So my rise is 1. So from 3 to 4, that's 1. But I can't do my dot yet because I have to run. And then my run is going to be 2. So 1, 2. Oh, and I need to carefully look at my numbers to make sure they're not skipping. Okay, now from this point, I'm going to rise 1, 1, and go 2 to the right. 1, 2. So I'm right here. So I went plus 1 and then plus 2. Okay, so this one, why don't you go ahead and try and do it on your own, and I'll cover mine. And let's check to see if we're in the right place. Ready? Psh. You get it? Yay, good job. So now I can connect the dots. This is why I love graphing.
Yeah,
And
graphing's kind of therapeutic.
feels nice. Feels nice. All right, and then our last one, oh no, it's graph to equation. So I'm going to have to do the opposite that I did over here. Well, we're always going to start with y. That's easy. Right? Okay, so then equals. So I'm going to need to find my slope first. I know it's going to be x plus, oh, what is b? B, my y-intercept or my start value. Oh, this one is tricky. So my start value, that's my y-intercept. Okay, so there's my y, there's my x. It's right there. This number's 4, this number's 6. Okay, not that bad. So this is going to be 5. So I'm going to go ahead and label that's going to be 3, 1, 6, 7. So I'm just doing this, so when I have to graph again, it might help me. Okay, so 5. Now 5 is my what again? My start value. So I know it's going to, and is it a positive 5? It is. So we're going to do 5 right here. So what's the next thing I need to find?
Now, let's go ahead and get our change in y, or our rise.
Okay. Oh,
Rise.
wrong one. So our change in y over our change in x, which equals our rise over run.
Yeah.
Great. So let's find our change in y. So we have one dot here. I'm going to kind of scoot this dot over to help me. Okay, so I'm right here, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm too old for this. Nope. Where did I mess up, Miss Heinman?
I would see how you made that nice little
Oh, right here?
label. So you want
Got
to
it.
see from 5 going up to
Oh, you're right.
to I think the 8.
I'm going from 5 to 8. That's so helpful. Okay, so I started at 5 and then I went to 8. Oh, so
Yeah.
that's easier. That's going to be 3. So my change in y is 3. And then my run is going to run this way. So let me try these numbers. Oh, that might be
You might
helpful.
want to,
again.
yeah. So change of y, you want to look at the y line, and then change of x, we'll look at that
X
line.
Right? So let me check this out. It goes from 0 to 2. Oh, that one's tricky. It's got like 3 dots, so that means it's going to be 1. So it's going to go half, then 1, 1.5, then 2. So this one's going to be 3, 5, 7, and 9. All right, so now let me try this. So I started at 0, and then it ended up at 4. Oh, easy peasy. So that's going to be my change in x went from 0 to 4. So my change in x is 4. All right, so now I can write this equation. When I go back and check this, y equals my slope, which my slope is my rise over run. So that's going to be 3 fourths, or 3 over 4, sorry. And then x, we don't know that yet, plus y intercept or start value, which is b. So my y intercept start value was 5, 5.